Have you ever seen a girl from across the room and you wanted to walk right up to her and say a witty one-liner and then get her number? Only you didn't because you're awkward and have no idea what to say and she'd probably reject you anyways. Let's face it, approaching a girl can be pretty scary, but it doesn't have to be. I want to share with you a few tips on how to make it easier approaching a girl and what you can do to increase your chances of getting her to like you. These tips will be split up into 2 parts. The first video is going to be more basic tips, and then the second video will go further in depth on boosting your charisma. Practice, practice, practice. The very first thing you need to do before taking anything else into account is to actually go up and talk to girls. Even if you stopped watching this video right now, by virtue of just putting yourself out there and practicing over and over, you'd eventually figure it out on your own and get better at talking to girls and asking them out. Taking action is the number one most important thing when it comes to getting girls to like you. If you don't take action, you'll never talk to girls, you'll never get better, and you'll never get anywhere. With that said, let's move on to the next point. Do not be needy. One of the most unattractive traits in both men and women is neediness. You're only going to attract people who have unhealthy and dramatic personalities if you act needy or look for needy people to date. You don't want to beg for a girl's attention or put her up on a pedestal. She's a human being just like you, and she probably won't be flattered by the special treatment. Yes, you are looking to get her attention and maybe her number, but that doesn't make you lower than her or that she holds some sort of power over you. It's important to approach her as your equal. She'll be much more receptive to you that way. On the other side of acting too needy, she'll also be just as turned off if you try to neg her or act like she's not worth your time. Negging only works on girls who have low self-esteem and need constant validation, and like I mentioned before, needy people only bring unwanted drama. If you want to attract a girl who's confident and who more or less has her shit together, then treating her poorly will only convince her to find somebody else. Really, the best mindset to have when you're talking to a girl is one of confidence and balance. There's no need to feel either inferior or superior. Having a high self-esteem and also appreciating other people for who they are is going to improve your interactions with women and have an overall positive effect on your daily life. A couple of books I would recommend if you have trouble with your confidence or just don't know what to do when talking to women are Models and The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. He goes more in depth about your mindset and how to get better at approaching girls, and I think he has some great advice and an overall message. Have good intentions and be genuine. Another important factor when you're approaching a girl is to have good intentions behind your actions. It's easy to tell when a guy is only pretending to be interested in the conversation, but really couldn't care less and just wants to get laid. Girls are usually pretty good at picking up on ulterior motives, and a big red flag will shoot up if you act like you care about her, but really don't. Now, to be clear, there's nothing wrong with finding a girl attractive and wanting to have sex with her. That's just part of biology. And I would say most girls want guys to be attracted to them. But how a guy expresses that attraction makes a big difference. Don't pretend to be nice to her or fake interest because you think you'll get sex out of it. It makes you look sleazy and it sends girls running in the opposite direction. Being honest and genuinely enjoying your time with her is going to be way more effective in getting her to like you. Even if you are just looking for a one-night stand or a fling, and you don't want a serious relationship, be honest about it. Don't pretend to want something when you really don't. You'll avoid a ton of drama that way, and you're more likely to find a girl who's on the same page as you. You can be honest about wanting to have sex and still be respectful. Focus on chatting up a girl you're actually interested in and attracted to. It's going to be a lot easier to spark attraction in her if you're actively engaged, and you're going to have more fun. A guy who is confident and honest about what he wants is a lot more attractive than a guy who's trying to hide his true intentions. A great resource to learn more about how to be honest in your intentions is Johnny Saporno and his discussion on seductive reasoning, and the link will also be in the description box below. Once you are talking with her, what do you say? First, I would recommend you check out my earlier video of how to never run out of things to say on a date. Even if you're not on a date, it's a good video to keep the conversation going in general. In addition to the basics of a conversation, if you want to get a girl to like you, it's important to instill in her a feeling of trust and connection. This is incredibly important. Women tend to place a higher value on personality and character than anything else, which means that you could be the best looking guy in the building, but if you're dumb and rude, you're not going to have much luck. Whereas, even if you don't have a six-pack, but you're bright, charming, and funny, you'll find that way more girls are into you. But being charming, bright, and funny can be difficult sometimes, right? Well, check out part 2 of tips how to get a girl to like you, and we'll go more in depth on ways to boost your charisma and feel comfortable talking to women. Thanks for watching, and check out the second part of this video. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.